Mainstream Western music is dead. I'm saying it right now. I swear. This is what I tell myself. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
I die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Like I believe in an afterlife, so it's like the worst possible case doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do? Like
after you started creating content in Egypt, how was it received by the Egyptian fan base? تمام كده؟ Alright. اتفضل.
You're in it.
انا هعمل اديت الحته اللي في الاول بس مش معقول هيشوفونا كده يعني ولا هحطها. You never know.
We keep it everything. Keep it raw.
Brother. Welcome back. ايه الاخبار؟
Should I keep the accent the whole time?
Whatever.
I don't know, bro.
It might be a bit difficult, but whenever it feels natural to come out, طلعه. مكانك.
تمام حبيبي.
How's it going?
Alhamdulillah, bro. I'm good.
ايه الاخبار? You had a very busy day today. Thank you for sitting with us. انت كان عندك 2 written finals and then a paper final?
It's some bullshit, bro. Cursing or no cursing?
All the cursing is like.
Well, let's keep it PG-13.
All right.
Nothing crazy.
On that system, there's no one above 12 years old that watches my channel. Trying to grow the fan base. And so you had a busy day, and then I told you earlier that I'm going to be traveling this Thursday. And we wanted to get an interview out of the way before we left. And I was like, okay, I'll have it on the day where I have 3 finals. That's what you were thinking. Okay. That's a little teaser about how ambitious this man is here. What do you go by? What would you prefer to go by? Is it Kyro? Kyro?
Yeah.
Kyro it is. Yeah. All right, Kyro. I'm going to ask you a very vague general question. Okay. Feel free to take 5 seconds. Feel free to answer with a single word. 50 sentences, an essay, whatever it is.
Okay. This is interesting.
Who the hell are you? Who are you?
Oh man, okay. Who am I?
It's deep!
It's deep. Already, dude. It really is deep. Like it's just going straight into it. All right. I don't know. I'd say I'm a regular person that's tired of living a regular life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a kid that was, lucky enough to be born in New York City with parents that came from Egypt, and I just. Who am I? I don't know. I don't know.
I guess we're gonna explore that.
Yeah,
we're gonna explore that today.
I have a very good idea of who I am.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I'm constantly figuring out who I actually am as time goes on.
As it should
be. I develop into different people every day.
Yeah.
So.
And okay, so if that's been the case, has it been particularly difficult, given that you probably have 2 very strong identities, one that's a New Yorker and another that's Egyptian? How do these 2 come together? Are they at odds, or do they fit in like yin and yang?
Okay, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. It's like the New York attitude and the Egyptian attitude is on the same side. It's on the same time. And we both have that kind of don't take shit from nobody. Like if you're in New York, you know that you have to have a strong personality, or else everybody's gonna step on you. Yep. And it's the same thing in Egypt. If you just take anything from anybody, you're just gonna be tossed around from one person to the next. So it's like Egypt teaches you how to stand up for yourself. New York teaches you how to stand up for yourself. The difference, I'd say, would be like, here it's much more westernized, like Egyptian culture is I feel like it's becoming westernized now, but there's a big kind of parallel between them. It's like they're going on the same path, but it's different. Like I can't really. So you just gotta know. You just gotta know.
There's definitely 2 forms of very different evolutions happening in Egypt, and then they could not be more different from one another. I know exactly what we're talking about. So you said your parents are Egyptian?
100%.
Okay. Were they also in New York for a long time before you came into the world, or was it a recent?
My dad was. He was here for, I think, since like, if I'm not mistaken, the early 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe 87 is when he first came, but I'm gonna say early 90s just to.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
And you're
my mom.
How old are you now?
I'm 22 years old now.
22.
I turned 23 in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm like So you were born in 2001?
2000 on the dot.
2000.
Yeah. Yeah.
2000.
Start of a new millennium.
You're the change. You're the change.
We are the change. Me and you both.
We're gonna get very deep into that very soon, but let me not get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I wanna learn more about what it was like for you to be, I assumed, raised as an Egyptian by your Egyptian parents, people that are like, they came here, I assume, as immigrants initially, and then your first generation. So in the way that they raised you, I'm assuming it was a typical Egyptian household upbringing.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It is, honestly.
How was it being brought up as an Egyptian kid and interacting with kids that have not had the same experience?
Well, I feel like since I was born here and I grew up here, I didn't really feel the difference. It's just like something's different about me, but I don't really understand what it was until I got older and really understood my identity and like where I came from and stuff. One thing I'll tell you is my name. So my real name is Yahya.
Beautiful name.
So in school, like I would be like, the first day of school would be the worst day for me. In middle school, like once I got older, I didn't care. Like, say my name however you want to say my name. Like it made me different.
You got to Johnny by high school, like Mahmoud, Yahya, Hussam, Johnny. I was like, khalas, okay, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Timothy works.
But in middle school, like I was still young. It made me feel so embarrassed that first day when she's going down the attendance sheet, and I could feel my name coming, and I know when my name comes, because they stop. They're like, oh, this is going to be a hard one. I was like, oh, shit. Here we go.
He's got the Azam Khaz. Oh, my God.
This was like, Yahya? Yahuya? Yeah, I'm like, where's the kha? There's no kha. Like, it's just, yeah. Like, at least say that. At least make it wrong. Respectfully.
Yeah, but, I can formally feel that a lot ever since I came here, which was only very recently. And for them to pronounce the name Amr, you can imagine how And then the translation of that in English is supposed to be AMR for Amr. But the guy that wrote it in my passport in Egypt was like, let's add an O.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? So technically and legally, I'm Amro.
Amro, yeah.
Amro. This is why my Instagram handle is Amr without O.
Yeah.
That's the real Amr. And so, having been like someone that already stood out at an early age, how did people react to you when they knew that you were Egyptian? What was the first impression?
Well, for the most part, I grew up around a lot of I went to a private school when I was younger, so it was like an Islamic school because my parents or my dad wanted me to to not really be influenced too much by what's going on out here, and to really have like a foundation in my religion, basically. So I grew up around a lot of other, Egyptians and Muslims. So it wasn't really, it wasn't. I didn't really feel outcast. Like I felt at home.
Okay.
Until I went to public school, and then I was like, "Oh, wait, I am, I am the outcast." Like,
I'm that guy.
Yeah. So, for the most part, honestly, I feel like because New York is so diverse, it's like minorities just click together. So you don't really feel. It's like we make the majority feel outcast. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
if you don't have like a minority group that you identify with, then something's odd about you. You need to identify with something.
Right. So it's like we were the cool ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're different. Like the others are the ones being like,
Hello. And has it always been the case for you that kind of took on and embraced this Egyptian identity that you were bestowed upon?
I feel like I haven't really embraced my culture. I haven't done that since like a year ago.
Tell me
a year
more.
and a half ago.
Tell me from the very beginning. We have all the time.
Okay. Okay. Let's start when I first started making music. So that was 4 years ago, 2019, February 2019.
Okay.
So I started making music, and it started off with just me writing like rhymes in like a notepad. And then I met a friend of a friend who makes beats. He made a beat for me the same day that I met him. I put my lyrics to his beat. I went to the studio. I recorded it. And I just fell in love with like just that process. Beautiful. And just hear it. Once I heard myself on the headphones, I was like, "Yo,
I must
this
be
is crazy." Yeah, like this is me. Like this is not me. This is crazy.
Does it sound a little bit like this? This is gonna be edited.
Oh, that's I see it. I see it. I was like, wait, where's this coming, bro? But so I started off. It was rap, New York City rap, hip hop. Like that's what I was listening to. That's what I knew. That's what I thought. That's who I thought I was. I'm like gangster rap, like you know what I'm saying. Like that's what I grew up around. So it wasn't like I was being fake. It was me at the time. But then as I got older and as I gained more wisdom and learned more things, I'm like, okay, a lot of the things that I'm saying is bad. Like negative. I'm cursing. I'm talking about things that shouldn't be talked about. You know what I'm saying?
Like what? What were you thinking of?
Like sex, drugs, like things that I feel like are gonna have a negative influence on whoever listens to my music. And I realized that like as I was going through my process of becoming the artist that I am today. So at the same time, I'm not ashamed of who I was, because we all grow and we all make mistakes and we all learn from those mistakes to become who we are. So I wasn't ashamed of it, but at the same time, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't this is not what I want to leave. This is not what I want my legacy to be. It's just another rapper that talks shit, basically. So even though from the very beginning I always had the intention of having a message, or of having meaning in my music, I would fill it. Like, let's say I don't have a meaningful thing to say, I'll just rhyme with anything, as long as it sounds good. Right? But then as I grew, I'm like, I can't just rhyme with anything. Every single line has to have a meaning, and every single line has to be positive. I don't want to talk about anything negative. I don't want to talk about anything that could bring me down or bring the people that are listening to me down. So
that's a high standard. That's a very high standard and a very commendable one to set.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But it's like I think about it in terms of like God. Like I don't want to have sins for doing what I love. So if anything, like, let me make this as clean and as pure as possible, so that way, if anything, I can help people and do what I love at the same time.
Man, this generation is going places. I tell you that. we're gonna we have a lot of amazing examples. Kyro being one of them.
Thank you.
We're gonna see a drastic change within. If I had to bet on it, within the next 5 to 10 years, I think everything has been 5. You'd bet on that?
3.
3 come in. 3. And better.
Last year. We're already here.
There's a lot that's been changing, and I think so. For any form of drastic change to occur, you need the pioneers, the people that think out of the norm and fight against the very high drift that moves in a particular direction. Perhaps in your situation, it was the music that had lyrics that you did not stand by, that you didn't want to participate in, but it was the norm. It was the custom of where you were.
Exactly.
And then you had the very difficult conviction that I wanted to leave a positive message through the music that I was making. And what that meant is that it's going to be unorthodox. It's going to be different 100%. From what everyone else is doing. And that's not an easy decision to make.
It's not.
In hindsight, in 3 or 5 or 10 years, whatever the timeline may be, when what you're doing now becomes the norm, people are going to take it for granted. Because they're going to say, oh, that's how it's always been like. But in reality, the amount of effort from you to be able to create that change and then to eventually be able to succeed in it is not a trivial matter. So for that, hats off.
Wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful statement.
I think it's
I haven't thought about that.
It's I think it's commensurate with the beautiful work that you're putting into your stuff. And before we get to that, because I'm really excited to talk to you about your artistic side more deeply. You said you wanted to give a message. And the medium that you use for that is music.
For the most part.
Yeah, there are other avenues.
Right here.
Beautiful. Okay. So this actually plays in beautifully with the question I'm going to ask. If you were able to deliver a message with the least amount of resistance from you to the receiver, something that's going to dive directly into the mind of the person that you're speaking to. What type of message do you want to deliver? Or messages?
Right now?
Yes.
Like, what is the message?
Yes. Message or messages?
Okay. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I would say
we could start small. It could be something as
simple,
right? And then build upon it. Okay. It could be
I was going like
go, man, go. The platform is yours.
Honestly, don't forget God. That's it. Like, no matter what you do, no matter how many mistakes you've done, no matter how far like left, and I'm looking to the camera on purpose because you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, no matter how far left you've gone, you can always go back right. You know, it's a crazy world. We live in a crazy world, and I'm sure you know, maybe probably most likely way more than I do, but it's only gonna get crazier, and everything is just designed to deceive you and make you forget about God's existence and make you think that this is all we have and this is all that's ever gonna be. But that's not the truth. The truth is this is just a tiny, tiny, tiny little fraction of your entire existence. So don't worry. Just praise God. Alhamdulillah. That's it. Like, don't worry. Just remember God. That's all that matters.
That's free wisdom.
All that matters.
Free wisdom right there. Wow. That's amazing, man.
I think that's the message.
That's beautiful. I mean, that is a big message.
Yeah, if like this, I can really like expand that.
Please do. I would love to pick your brain more on this.
Just give me let's keep it going. Yeah.
First of all, on the point that you mentioned of keeping God always at the back of your head and everything that you're doing, do you ever feel that there might be a mismatch between the art that you're doing and the pursuit of God?
بص بقى صاحبنا الجاي صاحبنا
كمل معاك شوية.
The
haters are trying to get us.
Look, it's the Matrix. Once we get deep, they come.
Yeah.
All right. Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Do you ever feel that your artistic endeavors, do you ever feel that they interfere in whatever way with your pursuit of God or your ability to keep God in the back of your head at all times? Do you feel that these two things are ever
kind of at odds?
Yeah.
The music specifically?
Whatever it is.
100%. Like, I feel like it's a very, very, very lucrative and evil industry. Because it is. It's literally the devil's industry in a way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to be careful because even though I have the right intention and I'm doing it for the right cause, it's an evil environment and an evil place. So in my head, I always think about, okay, I'm here now and I'm doing this for the right purpose now and I have the right intention now. But once I get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, I have to be like very, very careful and very like just what's the word? Like just conscious. I have to be very careful and conscious of what's happening around me and where I'm taking myself. Because I don't doubt that I can 100% keep this exact same intention and exact same purpose all the way through, no matter how big I get. I believe that I will stay the same. But inshallah. But at the same time, there's gonna be things that challenge that. Because it's where does music get played? Like clubs and this and that and drugs and drinks and girls and everything. But then I think about it, it's like no matter what you do, if you get to a certain point in what you do, you're gonna face those same challenges. Maybe not as frequent as a musician, but if you have success, if you have prestige, if you have a status, all those things are gonna come for you anyway. So what I tell myself is, okay, I just have to be a strong person. That's it. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, you're always gonna face those desires and temptations. But if I'm a strong person, then I can overcome that.
Which of these challenges do you fear the most? Is there some form of frightening scenario that you constantly think of in the back of your head that you're trying to avoid in every way that you can? Is there something, a recurring thought about those challenges that comes to you?
A recurring thought of those things that I mentioned specifically?
Yeah.
I don't want to answer that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I fully respect that. I fully respect that.
I can tell you personally, but I wouldn't.
No, I fully respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's like, I'm giving them my weakness. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that.
That's my fault for asking that question. I shouldn't have done that.
No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Let me ask you then this then.
Yeah.
What ways, and I'll be happy also to provide some insight on this. What ways do you think you can fortify your position and make the arsenal that is Kyro stronger to be able to accept these challenges head on?
How to make it stronger? I feel like just strengthening my faith in general and my connection with God would make that stronger, and also having good people around me. I feel like that's the most important thing, is who you keep around you, because who you're around the most is who you are. So
it's often been told that you're an average of the 5 closest people around you.
Right. So I didn't want to say that because everybody says it.
Yeah. It's very true though. It's a simple phrase that captures the idea fully. But I'm in 100% full agreement with you that the people that surround you. We have an Arabic proverb that says, "As-sahib sahib."
Oh.
So whoever around you, especially the close ones, whatever they're doing, you gravitate more towards the paths that they're on.
Right.
And if you have people that are facing their own challenges, could be in the art industry, it could be in something else, and they're also fortifying themselves with God and a larger community, and generally the community support at large, you'll be able to reap the benefit of that as well. Which is why I think what you're doing in terms of reaching out to the Egyptian community, because not only are you an artist in terms of music, you also have really funny sketches, comedy sketches, and I think they're freaking hilarious. And I think that helps in building more of a community with your people, which I think is great for them, because that also helps them build a community around the videos and the stuff that you've created. But it's also a great resource for you to know that you'll eventually have these people for support, especially when they're a type of people, what I believe Egyptians fully are, that are willing to support in whatever way and capacity that they can. And so on that note, what has been your experience with the Egyptian fan base? It was, to my understanding, that it wasn't always the case that you had an Egyptian fan base.
Yeah.
And then at some point it became so.
Right.
So tell me about that transition. And then once you've achieved that reach to the Egyptians, what was it like?
So this goes back to the question. Forgot what was the question, but I was telling you like my whole like when I started becoming an artist 4 years ago, and I was into rap and hip hop and this, and then okay, now I'm at the point where I cleaned up my music, cleaned up everything, and 2 years. So timeline is 2021. Yeah, this is where you put the sound effect.
COVID-21 is passing.
So the summer of 2021, my father passed away. Allah yarham. Yeah. So he passed away in the summer. 3 months later, we dropped everything. I was in school. I got this sudden surge of energy, and I was trying to do everything. Like I had these flyers. If people that know me, they know the flyers. I had them everywhere.
Will we be able to put a picture of them somewhere?
Yeah. Picture, hold on.
I can edit it into the video.
Look, these right here.
The ambition on this guy is endless.
I got them. So these, you can have this actually.
It's beautiful.
I had them. They fit exact. Did you know how the train has ads, right?
Yes.
They fit exactly into those pockets.
Yeah.
So I would go through, like, let's say I'm going to school. I'll go all the way to the end, get on the first cart, and just slide them on, like, and then I'd go through every cart.
Yeah.
Every day I'd finish 2 trains, maybe maybe 2, whatever, like the whole train from first cart to the last cart. And then people would be on the train and they'll take a picture like, oh, I seen you on the train, this and that. And it has the QR code at the bottom, so it takes you to everything.
They'll see the QR code here as well.
Yeah, even though this wasn't your question at all. But
no, I'm glad we're plugging this in. We're plugging this in.
So I just had this surge of I gotta do this and I gotta do it now because my main support system was gone. So I had to make it. Like I was like, I have to make it now, blah, blah, blah. And I thought I was making a lot of, I was making a lot of progress. Suddenly, boom, we're going to Egypt. Like, I don't want to go. I'm doing something. It's moving right now. Like I have a good rhythm. Yeah, I have momentum right now. I don't want to go to Egypt. We're going to Egypt. Just a few months, and we'll be back before your next semester, which is January. So it's October.
Yeah.
We'll be back by January. I'm like, you know what? This is what God wants. All right, let's go to Egypt. I don't care. Like, and at that point, I don't know why, I thought the world was gonna end. Because it was after COVID and everything. I'm just like, you know what? New York is gonna get flooded. I've seen this in the movies. 2012.
You held it down in New York. New York was resting on your palms.
I was like, listen, we gotta go to Egypt. I'm taking everything. I'm not leaving anything. I was like, I took our suitcases were packed to the brim. You know how Egyptians pack everything. Everything was overweight. Like 20 pounds overweight, and they still got
to the jacket. Just a little jacket. What is the problem?
So we went to Egypt, and then for the first 6 months, I was depressed. Everything stopped. My whole life stopped. Just like a complete pause. Like on FaceTime, pause. That was me. I was paused. I had no choice. Literally, like I had no choice, no power. It was.
Did you have friends and family in Egypt at the time when you went?
I have very little family. Like from my mom's side, because that's who I usually like. I have a deeper connection with my mom's side, and I went to we usually stay in Alex, so that's where she has like she loves Alex. That's where she grew up. That's where we stay. So I didn't really know any. I didn't have any friends over there or anything. All my friends are here. They only come in the summer or whatever. So I was just in my own little like bubble head space, trying to grieve over my dad's passing. So it was a lot that I didn't really understand. I thought I was over it. Like I thought I was like, oh, I had this energy and like it's okay. Like he's been told me about this. Like he's been like, you better know, he's like my dad is funny. He'd be like, I only got like 3 more months. And he'd say that every year. Like, I would be like, yo, he's like, I only got 1 more year left. You better know what you're gonna do. I'm like, you say that every year, yeah, man. What you mean you only got 1 more year? So it's like he's always been like kind of just reminding me like, yo, I'm not gonna be here forever. So it wasn't a shock, but of course it was a shock because I didn't know it was gonna happen at that moment. So I was grieving and I went through that process for 6 months. Then I was like, you know, I'm tired of feeling sorry for myself or just doing nothing. Like, I'm tired of just being a turd. Like, just being like nothing. Like, I'm like, okay, let me just at least start working out again, or start like let me go to the gym. Start going to the gym and let me start trying to push my music here. That was my initial goal. It's like, I'm gonna go to Egypt. I brought all my flyers. I had like 1,000 flyers. That's what was weighing my bags down. so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Egypt. I'm gonna blow this up over there. They don't want English over there. They don't care about hip hop and like rap. They do, but not way, not this. Like, not what I was doing. So it didn't work. And this is when I started using TikTok, because I never liked TikTok. I was like, yo, this is the stupidest shit. This is a bunch of girls like dancing, and I was like,
complete agreement with you there. Yeah.
And then I changed my mom. Like, hold on, this could be big because you could reach a lot of people fast and grow fast. So I'm like, okay, I gotta use this. I gotta get on this. So I started with English content and like New York content. It was just random, like just random weird stuff. Like, I would make like weird little music videos, or I was just trying to do something. Yeah, but it wasn't working until I had this idea of I called myself the best Egyptian rapper, right?
أيوة بقى.
Yeah.
مروان موسى دخل نام على طول ويكذب يلطم.
وانا اصلا this is before I made Egyptian rap. I'm the best Egyptian English rapper. So nobody can compete. So like,
it's a very niche
right. So I started putting that on I'll take any video, like مثلا it's me lip syncing in the mirror. Yeah. And I was like, me looking at the best Egyptian rapper. And that one hit. Like, I would not get over, like, you know how they keep you at 200 views. Yeah. Nobody cares about you. So that one video.
بعدين طنط تعمل لك كومنت. My number one fan.
Right. So that one video got like a 1,700. Nice. And people were hating in the comments. I was like, oh, I'm onto something. I was like, okay, this could work. So then I started spamming it. The best Egyptian rapper does this. The best Egyptian rapper here. The best Egyptian rapper. Until it got old. Yeah. I got 1,000 followers off of doing that little stunt, kid. Yeah. Like, you know, like just a marketing scheme.
Teasing the people.
Yeah. So I knew it was making them mad, but it's okay. I just needed followers to start. Yeah. Boom. I got to like 1,000, and that's when I started posting the skits. So I started doing like little funny stuff here and there. Bardo English, but I didn't get to the accent part. Then I made this one video where I was on the Corniche. Yeah. I was on the Corniche for Skindria. And my cousin was shooting these videos with me because he wants to be a photographer. Or he wants to be a videographer. Shout out to Ahmed. So he was shooting a video, and I was in this was like a Friday after prayer. We went by the Corniche, and I had the script. I thought of exactly what to say. I don't know why, but I thought word for word what I was gonna say in the shower. Like,
that's the best place. Yeah,
that's the best place for real.
Shout out Goma, level 10.
So I made that video where I was like, over here we have the supermarket where you can get chips, bips, anything like this, and over here we have the bitches, and it's beaches, right? So I purposefully did the play on words with bitches and beaches, and then the chips, bips, anything like this rhymed. So it was the rhyme and then the play on the words. I guess it hit, and that video, boom, blew up. 200K in like 3 days, 300K, and it kept going up. And that's when I started getting like a lot of followers on TikTok. I got up to 10K, and then towards the end, we're in 2022.
And you continued with the skits after
I continued once I got that, I was like, okay, I got to keep doing this. I got to.
Let me ask you a question before we get to that final parts. When you started off initially, you didn't have a polished product to start with. You didn't have a concrete or solid idea of what you wanted to do with the platform that you were getting on. What made you start anyways? What were you thinking at the time? Because a lot of people, when they want to start something, they think of working on it in terms of stage A, stage B, C, D, until it's reached perfection. Then I'll try and go out to the world. You started at an early stage in that development of your platform. Why did you go into this head on before you had a finalized and polished product like the beautiful song that you put out, Masa?
So let me understand your question. So you're saying, what made me just start posting without really knowing why?
Or without having a polished product, like the song that you created.
Okay.
You were just doing some little videos here and there.
Right.
But you had the idea in the back of your head that you wanted to get followers.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I always had the music. I always had, like, since I started, I have a safe, like, just filled with music.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, but I need an audience, because I can drop a song every day, but nobody's gonna listen to it. Okay. So what's the point? So I need a way to get an audience. That's the way. Okay.
And it worked.
And it worked. Yeah. So that wasn't the way initially. I wanted to just be an artist.
Yeah.
Like, I just music. Like, my thing is music. Blah blah. But doesn't matter. If I could do more, do more. It's if there's a better way to gain an audience, then let me do that. And they're gonna like my music if they like it. If they don't, I have a bigger reach anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's a beautiful way of thinking about it. What would you say is the method that has worked the most for you in terms of gaining followers?
Oh yeah, the skits. Yeah, skits. They love the skits.
As a member of the audience, we do love the skits. We do love the skits.
They love the skits, but maybe I'd say more than the music. 100% more than the music now.
You have stuff in store, don't you?
Is that, like, I don't want to be making skits forever.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to. You know what my biggest I wouldn't say fear, because it's not a fear. My biggest concern was that once I start making these skits, people are gonna see me as that guy with the accent. I'm forever gonna be the brother. Hello, my brother. Anybody's ever gonna see me, my brother. And it's all right. Like, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like I'm an artist.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want them to like I'll post a song. Let's say I'll post a snippet of a music video after like 5-6 skits. Like, stick to the skits, bro. Stick to the skits, bro. This ain't you. Like, you're bro,
that's probably exactly the voice of that guy. I know exactly what that guy looks
like. So even though it's a beautiful song, it's a good song, but they'll just say that just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I want people to respect the fact that I was an artist first. This is not just, I'm not just throwing music after the fact that I've done skits. No, like, I was an artist first, and now I'm giving you some comedy to make you laugh too. But this is really me. You know what I'm saying? So
how do you see yourself tackling that problem? Because if you're saying that the thing that has caused you to gain the largest amount of reach are the skits, and that the majority, perhaps, I don't know, the majority of the audience that you have, or the fan base, came through that medium.
You're right.
What then way are you going to use to be able to, ensure that they remain interested and when you create that transition into perhaps exclusively music? I don't think you should ever do that.
Nah, I'm not,
because you're talented in both. if you want to,
not to interrupt you, but when I was in like middle school, high school, people would tell me you should be a comedian. Like,
I see that.
Yeah,
you have the demeanor. You have the demeanor of one.
It was. I guess maybe that was before the music. I don't know, but
and you're Egyptian, so it gives you extra points. So if the majority of the following has come from that avenue and from that interest, and let's say now you want to start becoming even more serious about your music, how do you envision transitioning that fan base into being interested in your music?
Well, that's what I'm doing currently.
Yeah.
So basically, I just combine both. I'll make a skit, but it's about the music. So it's like
I've seen that you've done that transition. That was intentional.
It's happening now. Yeah, like so I realized that I've been trying to figure. I've been trying to figure out like this is what I keep telling people like, yo, they love the skits.
Yeah.
They don't want the music. Like they don't like. It's not that they don't like the music. They don't like just the music.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Nothing's enough anymore. There's too much.
There's a lot to compete with.
Too much. There's way too much competition. Everything's oversaturated, overstimulated, over everything. Everything over.
Beneficiation, estimation,
كل حاجة شيشن مش عارف immigration. So I'm like, okay, I just have to find a way to make a skit about my music. So I'm getting to the point where I literally, this is today, I posted a video and it's a skit, but at the end of the video, it's like you remember Rick Roll?
Yeah, you got
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
You're
talking
Rick rolling your audio.
I'm gonna Rick Roll everybody. So they're gonna watch the skits, they're gonna think it's a regular skit, and then in the end, they're like, bro, I'm tired. Like, how many times is he gonna do this? I didn't even know it was gonna happen. Now they're gonna like the music without even knowing. Like, you know, you can't wait. You can't ask people. You just gotta put it in their face.
I think this interview is coming in a very timely manner after that episode of cognitive manipulation that I filmed. But no, I think what you're doing and the way that you're actively thinking about this is really, really wise. That's very, very smart, because you're being dynamic and adaptive about the thing that you're trying to build, which is one of the most important skills and very underrated skill at that. As a matter of fact, Yanni.
What is the underrated skill?
The fact that you're being adaptive and dynamic in the approach of you growing your followers. Because if you started off only doing those short, silly videos at the beginning when you were doing TikTok, and then you stuck to that, because a lot of people will tell you need to be consistent and you need to be persistent and disciplined, and that way you're going to get success.
Right.
Although that is part of the story, that's not the full thing. Right. You also need to be dynamic and adaptive in a way to be consistent, but also changing in a way to evolve and make whatever you're producing better, so that it matches the audience that you're interested in. And it's obvious that you have that at a very early stage. So I can't wait to see how you even further evolve with the years. In 3 years, I'm glad we're getting this interview now.
Don't worry.
Tell me after that, after you started creating content in Egypt, how was it received by the Egyptian fan base? Tell me more about the comments, the messages, the more personal.
They loved it. They loved it. Like they like there's always gonna be people that just hate for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll find those whatever it is, like, you're making fun of your people. You're making fun of your culture. This is a disgrace. Yeah, I'm not making fun of you. That's how we talk. That's how we actually talk. Like, if you learn English and you have an Egyptian background, you're going to have that accent. It's whatever. But that's not the case. Like, it was a lot of love. A lot of just laughing emojis. Like, a lot of people loved it. The love to hate ratio is like 98 to 2%.
That's good to hear.
So I was like, this is how I know, like, this is gonna work. Like, the skits are gonna work, because it was bringing in positive. It was just bringing in a positive audience. Like, you know how I was telling you, like, I was teasing them before, calling myself the best Egyptian rappers. Even though, you know, it's like, I believe I can be the best, but it's not like I'm. Like, I did that on purpose just to, you know, piss people off. But it was bringing in negative stuff. So it was like all the comments were hating, except like it was instead of 98-2, it was 98-2 the other way. There'll be like that 2% that understands. They're like, yo, he's just doing this for attention. It's actually fire, blah blah blah. But for the most part, it was like, yo, you ain't shit. The Marwan Musa, but how are you gonna say you're the best? You don't know Marwan Pablo. You don't know Wiggs. I'm like,
they don't know Kyro yet. They don't know Kyro.
They didn't.
They're not
they
ready.
Didn't know Kyro. So yeah, it's been very positive.
So
very,
overall,
very positive.
a good experience.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
would you say that has helped you continue working on the art that you're doing? Would you say that it played a part in motivating you to continue producing for this audience because they engaged with you?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of the timeline. So I blew up after I made my first Arabic song in Egypt. My first Arabic song is called Yom Al Yom La. I don't know if you heard it or not.
I don't think I have.
You should. It's really good. So,
cue the music.
So, I made that, I think it was around June, in a studio in Egypt. So I went with an Egyptian engineer there. He was actually pretty good. And I recorded that song, and like I was like I knew I had to make something Arabic. So let me take you before that. Before that, I was listening to the scene in Egypt, like the music scene in Egypt, and I never knew Wiggs. I never knew like Marwan Musa. I never knew any of these people. I'm like, and then I discovered all this. I'm like, whoa, there's something going on here. Like, hold on, like this is not new. Like it's already happening.
My Musa, my Khocha.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yani, this is already up and running. Like I don't gotta start it. It's already started.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I could do this. Let me Marwan Musa type beat. Yo, push. I found a
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, because I like his style. Honestly, I like his.
It's remarkable.
He takes the swag of like Western rap or like American rap, and he does it in Arabic. And I like it.
And he's very innovative with the beats that he makes. It doesn't end up being a repetitive thing over and over. I don't know if you've gotten to listen to his latest album.
No, I haven't.
It's remarkable, and it's like one of the things I really like about Marwan Musa, and I see you embodying this as well, is the fact that you're completely unapologetic about fully embracing your culture and the way that you're making music. And that's something I think, well, for sure, I personally respect, but I think a lot of the Arab generally and Egyptian audience members in specific really respect and appreciate, especially because there's so much potential for that avenue. I mean, there's been a history of remarkable Egyptian artists, and you're following suit down their footpath.
Inshallah.
The fact that you do not shy away from that and ensuring that you include that Egyptian flavor in your music, I think is, again, very commendable.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm sad that it took me this long because everything's on divine timing. So I'm not.
Alhamdulillah. It seems like you have a lot of trust in God, in Allah.
100%.
Yeah?
100%. 100,000,000%.
So how okay, tell me, how do you reconcile this with negative things that happen to you? How do you, if the plan that you have set for you is perfect because it's from the divine, when you come across negative things in life, how do you reconcile the negativity with the perfection of the plan?
Of God's plan?
Yeah.
It's God's plan. That is the perfection.
Yeah.
The negativity is part of the perfection.
So you believe that it's a necessary part
100%. I feel like people so often divide all experiences to good and bad. But it's like there's really no such thing as good and, well, there is, but there isn't at the same time. It's like it's an experience. An experience is an experience. You could take a negative experience and make it a positive one. You could take a positive experience and make it a negative one. It all just depends on how you view it and what your perspective is on that experience.
Now, I think with a mentality like that, you cannot fail. You cannot possibly fail if you look at every negative in your life and you have a higher purpose and a higher understanding of everything that occurs to you, and you wholeheartedly believe and have faith that this is the best plan because you believe in the best of planners.
Yeah.
And what could possibly go wrong? On to the next. Who knows?
This is what I tell myself. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
I die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? Like, I believe in an afterlife, so it's like the worst possible case doesn't scare me. Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Like, don't get me wrong though. Like, things happen to me, and I like there'll be moments where I question it. Like, why? Just tell me why. Yeah. Like, I want to know why this happened. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying like God made a mistake. I know this was supposed to happen, but
you're human.
Yeah,
you're like, you can't help but
some things are just, they really like, you know, like, dude, like, stab you, bro. So it's like, damn, like, I didn't ever think this would happen. So it kind of just, boom, hits you by surprise. And it takes me a little time to get into that mindset. Hold on, this is not bad.
You recalibrate.
I'm good. Yeah. And I come out a stronger person because of it. So it's like, maybe it'll take me that month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
But after that time frame, I realized the person that I became was because of that negative situation. Mm. So was it really negative?
Diamond was forged out of carbon under pressure.
Right.
Inshallah, yani, from one step to a higher. Yani, I and I'm sure along with your audience, yani, see that with the consistency and the ridiculous ambition that you have. And ridiculous is actually an understatement. And
really?
I think
really
it is an understatement, because I don't see a lot of people with the ambition that you have, especially with an ambition that is tactical. Because it's very easy for you to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and whatever.
Yeah.
I've been seeing how consistent you've been. And now I'm even learning more about the strategies that you have behind the screen, which is no simple thing, especially with everything else going on in life, and, you know, people get busy. The fact that you're doing this and you wholeheartedly believe in what you're doing, and on top of that, you want it to be based in providing something good for the people, which is, again, no easy feat, because as humans we have a predilection to negative things.
Right.
So if you want to become famous, the easiest way to do it is to do something radically horrible, horrendous. And the fact that you're choosing not to do that, but ensure that you're putting out something positive and going through the more difficult path, I mean, come on. This generation is certainly safe. This generation is safe. And on that note, I want to ask you what advice you'd like to give to other artists, other Arab Egyptian artists generally, so that they don't avoid mistakes that you might have committed initially in the past. Things that
they don't avoid it, or
no? So they would avoid.
Oh, okay.
So they would avoid it, so that it's not something they have to go through that you have.
I don't know. I'd say just find. I don't know, because there's no avoiding. Like, I could tell them whatever I want to tell them. Yeah. At the end of the day, they're gonna do whatever they want to do. There's no avoiding the mistake. انصح فيك وانصح فيك وانت مش عايز تفهم. طب اعمل لكم ايه طب؟ Like, you can talk all day, bro. People gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But I'd say learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't avoid them. You're gonna make mistakes. You're not gonna. It took me 4 years to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been on social media. I've been trying to attain an audience, and I've done everything I can possibly do. Like, I've thought of so many different things, but none of them worked. Just don't give up. Don't give up. See, okay, this doesn't work. Okay, let me try something else. This doesn't work. Okay, let me try something else. Oh, this works. Okay, let me make it better. And that's it. Once you find something that works, you're good. Just keep on improving it. You make it better. You're going to get to a point where you just have to maintain. So I don't think I'm at that point yet. Like, I'm still.
You're certainly on the path.
I'm on the path. Well, I'm on the path, but I'm not where you got to maintain yet. I'm still climbing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still.
Do you think the climb will ever stop?
No. It doesn't stop. I feel like that's just human nature. You know, we always want more. We always want more. But I feel like I don't know. Like my goal is to just disappear one day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm about to shut it.
No, just give that. Like, just go. I want to make this so big.
Yeah.
And just leave. But then again, like you said, I feel like I'm never gonna be done. You know, like
it's difficult to be satisfied when you're this ambitious.
Yeah, like
it's very difficult because it's obvious you have the fire and the passion in your eyes. I could see it. I don't think you will be resting anytime soon, my friend. Not now, not in 50 years.
It's alright. This is what I signed up for. عادي بقى خلاص.
طيب أسألك سؤال تاني.
يلا بينا.
السؤال ده
احنا داخلين عربي دلوقتي.
احنا بص يعني وان بونس كده بالعربي. هدول لك واحد سؤال واحد بالعربي. او اتنين هنشوف.
2 3 انا وي جود اول داي.
خلاص هنعمل واحد.
3 سنة.
ايه يا جماعه؟ انا هناكل تمر ولا ايه؟ طيب انت دلوقتي عشت في مصر لمدة قد ايه؟
1 سنة و4 شهور.
1 و4 شهور. ايه الحاجة اللي محتاجة تتغير في مصر؟ من ناحية either الفنانين نفسهم وطريقة
اوكي we're playing it safe.
من ناحية الفنانين.
ايوه.
وطريقة الشغل بتاعهم في مجال الفن عامة، أو في المجتمع نفسه ومساعدته في إن هم يعني يكون عندهم قدرة إن هم يطلعوا الفنان ده من شخص لسه بادئ لشخص ممكن يبقى ناجح. كز في مصر مش سهل خالص إن أنت تنجح كفنان. صعب جدا. جدا. فإيه الحاجات اللي أنت من رأيك ممكن تتغير من ناحية الفنان ومن ناحية المجتمع بحيث ان الموضوع بتاع ان الفنان يطلع ويكون له صوت ويكون له نجاح ويبقى اسهل؟
هو بص انا انا ما شفتش الاندستري هناك عامله ازاي really. يعني انا بدأت هناك بس لسه ما وصلتش ان انا اتعامل معاهم هناك. So as soon as that like I was kind of getting close to that رجعت تاني هنا. So no, actually I wasn't close. Like now I'm getting close to that. بس أنا مش anyway.
Close في مصر ولا هنا؟
لا قصدي يعني now that I'm here now I can if I go there now I can probably like not probably I can have those relations. But back when I was there in like in 2022 I wasn't there yet, so I didn't really know.
No hablas inglés.
ماشي تمام خلاص خلينا خلينا. So أنا حاسس I feel like إن هناك عايزين يقلدوا الويسترن culture.
حلو.
يعني عايزين ياخدوا الحاجات اللي هنا ويودوها هناك.
Copy paste.
Right. بس مش لازم خالص. يعني Egyptian drill ليه؟ طب ليه يعني مش بلاش يعني let them have it leave it here even though I'm them بس أنا them وthem يعني خليكم مختلفين يعني خليكم في مجال مصر اعملوا حاجات مش مسموعة اعملوا حاجات مش يعني ما تاخدوش الحاجات اللي بره سيبوا الحاجات بره اعملوا حاجات مصرية بس نيو بدل ويسترن خليها مصري new generation يعني do rap do this do whatever بس خليها authentic original حاجة جديدة مش حاجة قديمة عشان خلاص الترندات دي خلصت انتوا بتاخدوا دريل بعد ما الدريل خلص يعني اعملوا الحاجة الجديدة عشان مصر is gonna be bro the spotlight on Egypt هتبقى huge and this maybe 10 years maybe not 5 but Allahu Alam but there's gonna be a big spotlight on just the Middle East and North Africa in general because like there's I don't know what is going on but a lot of artists, masalan, like, I'm gonna have to switch English. Like artists like me who are first generation immigrants here in New York, and then I bring my Egyptian culture with me here. Just like this is happening in New York, it's happening in Italy. It's happening in Amsterdam. It's happening in Spain with Moroccans. It's happening in France. So there's this kind of culture vortex that's just like, and everything is coming together. Like, but everything except for mainstream music, Western music. Khalas, it's over. Dead. Mainstream Western music is dead. I'm saying it right now. I swear.
This is a scoop.
In the next 10 years, nobody's gonna be listening to mainstream rappers anymore.
No Justin Bieber, no Drake.
None of that.
Lil Uzi Vert, hatta.
Yeah, listen to Lil Uzi Vert. I'm the super bad. I'm telling you, bro. It's so khalas. It's getting so saturated to the point where there's change. You know, it's how long has hip hop been around for? The past 40 years, maybe. Something new has to come. I'm not saying we're getting rid of hip hop. I'm saying there's a new generation that's gonna start a new sound, and that mix of Arabi ma, Inglisi ma, Spani ma, French, whatever it is, that is the new sound.
Do you sorry,
like bilingual music. I don't know what it is, but music with different languages is gonna take over because we're getting so diversified around the entire world. Nobody speaks one language anymore. Most people speak or understand two languages for the most part here in America. In America. So just take it.
No, I'm in full, like, I fully concur with what you're saying, and I mirror your feeling about the region rising in that field within that time frame. And for me, I have to give a big shout out to the Moroccans, because I feel that they're doing amazing stuff when it comes to their arts, and it comes, of course, from their like remarkable heritage just as a country. And I feel like there's such amazing room for collaboration between the Egyptians and the Moroccans, and there have been multiple examples of that as well, and that's something I'm hoping that both markets explore further in the future. So from what I'm understanding and from what you've said, you believe that there is an opportunity to be grasped by the Arabs or the Egyptians more specifically in terms of creating original artwork. Do you think so? That the void is there because the mainstream music that we've been listening to is becoming oversaturated. Right. We've listened to it over and over. And the void now exists. Do you believe that, in the most genuine way to answer this question, do you truly believe that the Arabs are capable?
100%.
Why?
Because it's new. It's like the West has been taught to like fear us, or like, you know, like not like us, or like, you know, like,
bro, you have a ha in your name.
Exactly.
That's more than enough. God knows. One day he has a ha in his name. The other day is feeding my wife halal food. And eat our children.
Right. You know, like, Allahu Akbar. So it's scary to them. But now, not anymore. Now it's like the past 20 years, everything has shifted. It's like we've all grew together. And we've realized, like, the Dominican and the Haitian and the Jamaican and the Msharif, like, we all, like, I'm talking about here in New York, at least, because that's what I know. We all grew together, and it's like they're my brothers, I'm their brother. It's a different connection. So it's like there's this kind of curiosity about our language and about our culture, and the fact that Islam is rising as a religion. So many people, like, that I know, or personally, like, that were Christians, that were even Jewish, converted. So it's like they want to learn more about the language of the Quran, which is Arabic.
Yeah.
So Arabic in general is gonna have a big influence on music because it's new. Nobody's heard, like, we've heard Arabic music because we grew up on it, but here Just like Spanish. Spanish music came, took over everything. Like, caracao, 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 caracao. So it's crazy. But I feel like that same wave is gonna happen with Arabic music now.
And just to mirror and to add on to what you said, I think the Arabic language in specific as well is extremely comprehensive. Like as in terms of vocabulary, in terms of the meanings that the language can express. I think it's very well equipped to be a remarkable medium for artists to communicate whatever messages that they want. And especially the fact that we have الحركات والتشكيل في العربي, I think that plays a big role, or there's a big potential to be explored there, at least in terms of exploiting that artistically in music. And so for the longest time, of course, back in the day when you had Umm Kulthum, Abdul Halim, Abdul Wahab, and all of those greats, it was لغة عربية فصحى. Okay. And at the time, it was well received by the public, and because you had a lot of you had a lot of authors, you had a lot of people, reading intensely and immensely. So these words resonated perfectly with them. And the analogy that I'm going to draw now is a bit weird, but I think it's the same situation now. The artists that are uprising, a lot of them are speaking also the language of the streets. It's just the fact of the matter is the language of the street has immensely shifted. It's become very different. And so a couple of artists that I'm really a big fan of, Double Zuksh, I don't know if you've heard of them.
I think I've heard,
They're remarkable, and they have sounds that are completely original. And the way that they weave in their Egyptian beautiful language into the song and then create absolutely original music is ridiculous.
Wait, they make mahraganat?
I wouldn't categorize it as such. It's not. But some people would say it's shabi. But it's not mahraganat.
Okay.
It's not mahraganat. And there was a lot of pushback against these guys because they're like, the words that you're using are not eloquent. I was like, okay, maybe it doesn't need to be eloquent. As long as it resonates with the people in a particular way and the music isn't necessarily causing any harm, why not? Why not? Maybe it's about time that we embrace the language that we speak and appreciate that there has been a shift in terms of the meanings that need to be communicated. And it's not stuff that is just formal. It's not just stuff that you read in books. It's the language of the streets. And so I connected to what you said earlier about the fact that, our language is beautiful and there's a lot of potential to explore. Inshallah, these people continue doing the amazing work that they're doing because they created an industry. They created an industry for themselves. Again, pioneers like yourself. And there's going to be a lot of people in the future grateful for their existence because they paved the way and they created the foundation for that sort of progress to exist. With that, all power to you. Inshallah, the support of our communities will continue to be right in your back. And for them to continue supporting you in whatever way you need, and because obviously you mean really well and you want to bring across a positive message and you want to help the people with the meanings that you want to communicate.
100%. I just want to help the people in general, even with my future success, inshallah. All I want to do is give back. That's what I tell myself that is my plan. Is to give back always. I don't want to be just another celebrity or just another famous person. I don't even want to be famous, but it's what it comes with. So.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, but all my intentions are positive, pure.
Beautiful. Okay, one last thing to tell your audience members. Maybe it could be a teaser. It could be a scoop of something that's coming. I don't know if you want to share anything in the future. This could be an exclusive. Or just a message that you also want to tell the people.
Well, I just want to say, I'm grateful for everybody that's, commenting, everybody that shares, anybody that's been supporting me, honestly. I'm grateful for it, super grateful for it. And there's a lot of things coming. There's a lot. This is just the start. Trust me, Habibi, my brother. My brother.
We'll keep it
There's a lot coming, brother. Inshallah.
Beautiful.
There's a lot of music. There's merch. There's videos. There's movies. Whatever comes with, we'll let it come. Inshallah.
You'll hear it first on your page. We'll put all the tags and handles here. Looking forward to seeing your remarkable progress, Kyro.
It was a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure, my friend.
That's a wrap.
كلامي واضح مفهوم صوتك عالي من غير لزوم شكلك عادي أرجوك مش عايز أنا أعمل